I'm Nick.
And together we're Nikki Nick.
Hello.
Today we're going to be reacting to How the Universe is Way Bigger Than You Think.
Probably not. I think it's gigantic.
It's by RealLifeLore.
How?
I feel like when...
I already think it's gigantic. And
yeah.
We're about to open a giant can of worms.
So anytime I watch any of these I
go into a fetal position and I start just thinking about all of this stuff.
Okay, well no, but it okay, well no, but it absolutely blows my mind when I watch videos like this. Or just about the world in general. I'm like, I guess I just can't comprehend it.
It's
I don't know if we're meant to comprehend.
This is gonna be a deep video.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But my thing is that they say that it's infinite, but it blows my mind that they say it goes on forever, but it's still growing and stretching. Yeah. So it's kind of like, pick one. Is it a donut shape? I don't.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is probably gonna make me so much worse.
This is a RealLifeLore video made possible by Squarespace.
Thank you,
Your
Squarespace.
next move with a beautiful website from Squarespace.
Oh,
this is Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and everything that you've ever known is located right here. But
that you were
just how small exactly is Earth when compared to the scale of the
Maybe.
entire universe? Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. You may think that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far away. 384,400 kilometers away from you right now on average. You could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance, and if you somehow were able to drive a car at a constant 100 kilometers per hour speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance. Despite this incredible distance, however, 12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth, and one of humanity's greatest achievements. This is what the Earth would look like from there if you were standing there with them, and if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see there is Earth as seen from the Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but that distance can be as high as 401 million kilometers. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth than the astronauts who landed on the Moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds, it's actually more like 20 minutes each direction, which would render instant communication in the event of an emergency impossible. When we zoom out even further away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest away man-made object from Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth, AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun, which means that Voyager 1 is 138 times further away from us than the Sun is. At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion this is the greatest single photograph ever taken in all of human history. This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as Carl Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilizations. Every king and every peasant. Every young couple in love. Every hopeful child. Every mother and every father. Every inventor and explorer. Every teacher of morals. Every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Voyager 1 is currently traveling at 17 kilometers every single second, but even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another 30,000 years. Once we go beyond the solar system, we arrive in our interstellar neighborhood.
I think
Here
it's
we
losing
come
power,
to the
though.
light-year unit of measurement, which is the distance that light travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers. The star Proxima Centauri here is the closest other star to us other than our Sun, but it's still 4.24 light-years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it.
Wow.
In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like in our previous example to the moon, it would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrive.
Wildly not to scale.
When we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here. This yellow dot is the furthest extent of humanity's radio broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's presence. It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light-years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy. But you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even this massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further, and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light-years across. But zooming out even further, and we can see the Virgo supercluster, of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light-years. But even the massive Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light-years, but from even there we can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and see that even the titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a tiny and insignificant part of everything. This is the observable universe, and it contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light-years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light-years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there, because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth, and the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
As like a species.
This video was made possible by...
That was insane.
I am like...
But something that somebody said was, like, not to be, like, it's not about yourself moving forward and progressing and stuff. It's like the whole human species pushing each other further in life, you know, like, as a whole.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. My mind is just still completely, like...
I remember through high school, middle school too, I like binged and studied all of this stuff, and it's like, it blows my mind. Like that's why I think there's got to be something ridiculous out there, you know.
I mean,
like it'd be so awesome, like if we could at least travel the speed of light, or at least teleport, or like. It'd be amazing if we were able to come up with something like that.
Yeah.
If we haven't.
True, but I mean, I can, the way technology is progressing as it is, I can see that.
We'd be long gone by then.
Yeah,
though.
we will be, but
sadly.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't know, because I go back and forth all the time between, but like, I want answers.
But
like, everyone wants answers.
Isn't it crazy that there's an estimate size of how big it and how far it is, but they say it's infinitely growing,
well,
even though it goes on forever?
Yeah.
Isn't that confusing? That there's a number size
also,
and not an infinite?
Yeah, well, I feel like there's a number size as far as, like, at least. You know? So it's like at least... however 6,000,000,000 you know, like they're saying like that is the minimum number. Mm-hmm. The maximum is infinite, is what I kind of took that as.
Yeah, sure.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. That it's really hard for me to comprehend because I don't have like.
I like how he said it. He started out with the moon
knowledge.
And then furthered it up.
Yeah, just to me, like.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I could have sworn I read somewhere that it will take 3 years to get to Mars and 3 years back, even when it's the closest.
Such a long time. Can you imagine sitting in like a capsule, like as small as it probably will be?
I can't remember the names, but there's 2 astronauts that sat in a small capsule and they hovered over Earth for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they said they got to know a lot about each other.
I can imagine. Can you imagine 3 years?
They had to go back through physical therapy to learn how to walk again because.
To me, that's insane. I mean, like...
Nick, list the names down below. I can't believe I can't remember, but...
It's incredible to me that people...
Like if they did go to Mars, they'd have to slingshot off the sun, and when it's the closest, and then do it again, but...
That to me is mind-blowing. The fact that you have to... I can't imagine being an astronaut going to Mars. I mean, I think it's amazing.
I would have a panic attack.
Yeah, that's how I would feel. I would be like...
Because it's like, just that thought of going to a different planet when it's like...
A planet that's not as far, like, that's nowhere near where we think the end of the universe is.
Can you imagine being at home, in the snap of a finger, you're 156 trillion tons away?
6,000,000,000.
Trillion.
Yeah.
I thought it was trillion.
No, trillion.
Trillion. Well, okay, that's bigger.
Yeah.
Away. Can you imagine just being out there all of a sudden?
It makes you really
None
wonder.
of it. It's like.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like,
yeah.
I'm about to have a panic attack just thinking about that.
I think.
What would you do? Because technically.
We are not made to know.
Technically, if you randomly popped up at that distance, I'm not trying to freak anybody out. Nothing would matter.
Yeah.
Because technically they don't exist anymore because they're so far away.
They don't exist or we don't exist?
that if you popped up at that distance, like just magically, we're over there.
Yeah.
Sorry. You technically, the Earth wouldn't exist.
Correct. Yeah, that's
it wouldn't even matter.
We wouldn't exist.
And the light doesn't even touch it, so that was, you're probably, you know how they say, oh, if you're on Pluto or whatever distance it was, you see different events because it takes so long for the light to hit.
Yeah.
Technically, it wouldn't even exist at all.
Yeah.
Because you're so far away.
I can't think of that. That is why.
But even though it's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Which it isn't because it's different times going.
To me,
it wouldn't even matter.
That concept is absolutely mind-numbing.
Like it scares me that, imagine yourself just floating in space and you have a suit on and everything and you're that far away from Earth. It's like, what a way to die.
Oh my gosh. I don't think we as human beings are supposed to have an answer. Because I truly don't believe that
we're not allowed to know that knowledge.
We are capable of being able to handle knowing.
I think if
what else is out there?
If an alien,
sure there's so many things.
Let's say like an alien came to the planet Earth and gave us the answer, the knowledge would literally just kill us.
Well, I mean, I feel like the knowledge would disrupt the way we live. Because
maybe that's why.
The knowledge of if there is anything out there and the answers to so many of these questions would completely contradict the way we have been living for so many centuries.
What planet? I think it's Jupiter, where it rains diamonds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. There's like storms where it rains diamonds. Like
we're over here like pining for diamonds.
Because it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And there's like gold on an asteroid floating through space. It's like all of these elements are a common thing on their planets and asteroids, and it's like, what if there's multiple different elements that are completely out of our train of thought that exist to where they can actually jump place to place, and it's like something just like, I don't know, like kryptonite or something from Superman, like something ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. Every time I like, I'm gonna wrap this up because I know we've been talking for a while.
I'm sorry.
Anytime I watch one of these, like my mind like goes to Guardians of the Galaxy.
When they start, when they jump through and their like bodies are freaking out.
Yeah.
See, that's what that'd be crazy if that actually does exist. If there is extraterrestrials and they can actually do that.
They can do that.
But it's just so big that they haven't found this spot.
Yeah.
But maybe they have and they just don't want to say anything.
Yeah. And
they're just watching us.
They put us far away enough so we can't reach them, but they can reach us.
I'm gonna start crying.
Anyway, if you guys have any more videos like that, please let us know because I feel like I get so...
Yeah, we'll do it every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, we're about to watch a black hole one, and I'm really excited about that.
About to go take my anxiety medicine.
But if you guys want to see more of us,
and
make
water.
sure to subscribe to us, go Snapchat and Instagram. Make sure to subscribe.
Thank you for support. Thank you, love you guys. Have a good day. Good night. Good evening. Bye.